Hello, I'm Rebecca Flaherty, and today we're going to be making this pattern in Procreate. If you're a regular here, feel free to use the timestamps to skip to the beginning of the tutorial, and if you're new here, then welcome to the Pattern Maker's Toolkit. It's completely free to join and packed with resources to help you on your pattern making journey, and if you want to use the same colour palette that I used for this pattern we're making here today, you can grab that over in there too. So the first thing to note is that this is not a 3600 pixel canvas. The finished height is 5600, and that's to allow for the graduations of colour, for it to start in this one, come to this one in the middle, but then end up in this one, so the two ends match up. But in order to make this shape, we need to start off in a square canvas. So although we'll be finishing in this size, we are still going to be using our 3600 pixel square canvas at 300 dpi. So I am going to grab the palette we're using today, which is this one here. I'll use the dark purple to start off with, and I'm going to tap on this layer here and fill it. Then I'm going to tap transform. I want my interpolation method as bicubic. Make sure you've got snapping and magnetics on and that both are turned all the way up. Then we're going to rotate it 45 degrees and we're going to fit it to the canvas. Then we need to tap off it, back on again, and then tap on this box here, and we're going to make it, let's go for 1200 pixels wide, I think, and then we can center that on the canvas. Then we're going to add a layer, fill this with the same color again, tap transform, tap on the node here, change your interpolation method to nearest neighbor for this one, tap on the node, uncheck the ratio and make it 1200 pixels wide and 200 pixels high. Then snap this to the middle of the canvas so you end up with this kind of shape here. Then we're going to merge those together, add a layer above, fill this one with colour again, tap transform, make this one 200 pixels by 200 pixels. I'm going to invert the colour on this and bring down the opacity. Tap transform and I'm going to snap it to the top of this shape there. Then I'm going to duplicate this shape. I'll invert the colour on here so you can see what's happening. Tap transform and snap this to the bottom of that box there. Then we can tap and select this green layer, hide both of those, tap onto this blue layer, tap transform and then just bring this completely off the canvas there. And that's the shape we're going to be using to make our chevrons for this pattern. Duplicate that, tap transform and bring that and line it up there. Duplicate again, tap transform and snap it over there, and then you can snap those three together and we can delete those for now. Now we've got the shape made, we can now make the canvas the height it needs to be. So tap on your actions up here, go to canvas and crop and resize. And on your settings, change the height to 5600. Tap done, and that's going to give you enough repeats to be able to have this go in and out of the colour palette that we've got. So you can tap done, and we'll bring this to the top there. So now we're going to duplicate this, tap transform. I'm going to snap it down by half of its height, so it's going to snap to the middle of the one above it. And I'm going to alpha lock that and make it the next lightest colour. Then duplicate, tap transform, snap that one down, make this one the next lightest colour, duplicate again, tap transform, bring this one down, and we're just going to work all the way through the colours doing this. And then when you get to this colour here, the lightest colour, duplicate, bring that down there, and then you go back the other way through the colours now. And this last colour here, when you're working in this purple colour, you need to duplicate one of the layers that isn't cut off. So where we've got it cut off here, we duplicate one of these other ones, tap transform, and we put this one up the top there, and we fill that with this second darkest colour so that that matches up with this. The next thing we need to do is to put some vertical lines in here to get the herringbone effect. You could also obviously export this as a pattern tile as it is, that would look good too. I'm going to pinch all of these onto one layer now. I'm going to be reckless and flatten everything. I'm going to add a layer and I'm going to fill this one with white. So double tap up here and fill this layer. I'm going to tap transform and I'm going to leave it on nearest neighbour and unlink the ratio, and I want this to be 150 pixels wide. I'm going to centre this on the canvas there. Then I'm going to fill this layer underneath and transform this to, with the ratio unlinked, I'm going to make this 1200 pixels wide. And then if I centre this on the canvas, and I'll bring down the opacity on this, we can use that for snapping the edges of this too. So duplicate your vertical bar and you can snap one to the edge, the middle of it there, and then put one on the other side. Then grab this marker shape, snap it to the edge of the canvas. Then you can snap one to the middle of that shape. And then we need half of one on the edge. So snap this so that it goes like that and is cut in half on the edge. Then bring this marker over to this side and do the same over here. So duplicate a full width one to go in the middle there. And then duplicate that and snap half of it to the edge there. Then you can get rid of that place marker and you can merge all of those into one layer. And that is our ombre herringbone pattern. We need to test this is repeating properly now, so let's swipe down with 3 fingers and copy all. Let's add a layer. I'll fill it with white and then invert it. So we've got black, swipe down with 3 fingers and paste. Change my interpolation method to bicubic, and I'm going to snap this up to the middle, and for this canvas it's going to be 1800 and 2800. And duplicate that and snap that over here and just zoom into the middle here and make sure that you don't have any black lines showing down the middle there. Then you can pinch those together, duplicate and bring that down there, and then you can just check your top and bottom seams are okay. And that's how this pattern looks in repeat. I'm going to make it 1 step smaller again, so it fills a bit more of the screen when I zoom in like that. And I think that looks really cool. I love that ombre colour. If you want to get the colour palette I used for this, you can find that over in the Pattern Makers Toolkit. Pattern Makers Toolkit is a bit like a Patreon group, except it's all free. I send out one and only one email per month with a freebie in there to help you on your pattern making journey, as well as early access links to some of my YouTube tutorials and full access to all the assets in the resource library. Plus, members get 10% off all the canvases and brushes in my Etsy store. New for 2025, the email also has a set of seasonal prompts each month for helping you plan, illustrate and upload in advance for the key shopping dates in your print-on-demand stores like Spoonflower. If you'd like to join, just click on the link up here or in the description. That's all from me this week. Don't forget to subscribe for more pattern tutorials like this. Have fun, stay creative, and I will see you next time.